Hello, this is Blake LeVine, and I'm going to share something really helpful that many people want to understand about how to build their own self esteem. I have to admit that every human being in the world faces obstacles, struggles, and issues that are very difficult at times to handle. And the ones that build up their self esteem to say, I've put effort in, I've tried, I've worked through all things that have happened in my life, even building up a good attitude, staying kind to people, learning lessons, and having a way of not letting all of the past problems and pain hold you back from enjoying life. And one of the best things about building self esteem is when you look in the mirror, you enjoy what you see. I've always used to tell patients as a therapist in office that you have to make a list of things that when you look in the mirror, you could say positively. Because on the negative, some would say, oh, this part of my arm or my leg or whatever it is doesn't look right. And they would harp on that over and over. And that is something that knocks self-esteem. So I always shared you have to work and put an effort to do the opposite. So maybe you say, hey, I like my hair, and when it's a good weather day and I feel happy, my hair is whatever it is. Maybe it's soft, maybe it's curly, maybe it's long, maybe it's short, maybe it's spiky. And I really am grateful that my hair is that. Maybe you have things that you don't even think about. Hey, I like the length of my arms or the length of my head. Or maybe I like my neck or my eyes or my nose. Or maybe you like your ears. Whatever it is, you look in that mirror and you like what you were seeing reflected back to you. And that's how you build self-esteem, to say, I am okay with who I am. And instead of finding negative things and picking on yourself, you say, I love yourself. I love how I am. I was just reading an article today about eating disorders. And sadly, women and even men living in LA, this is so common, people struggle with their image of themselves, their weight, and how they are. And I always say it takes effort, but it's worth it. I share in one of my books about Louise Hay and her work with affirmations, and how saying affirmations, basically looking in the mirror and picking 3 things to say over and over, eventually can really help you train yourself to like your life and to feel happier and healthier. In my own journey many years ago, I used to sometimes be negative and put myself down, or even if I was smiling and nice to people, maybe I was struggling and feeling really just not great. And I learned with affirmations to pick 3. I've shared this in some other talks and in my book, like I said. I feel wonderful. I feel terrific. I feel healthy. And Louise said to look in the mirror and say that yourself a couple times, several different occasions throughout the day. I remember in the beginning of the journey saying that I feel wonderful, I feel terrific, I feel okay. I didn't always feel that. Maybe I said, it's raining, I don't feel wonderful, terrific, okay. Or, I had a bill in the mail, it's not great. I don't feel wonderful, terrific, or okay. Different things would come up. Maybe I was, just having a hard day or that. And what I learned was over many months of saying I feel wonderful, I feel terrific, I feel healthy. I felt safer and more comfortable to start to believe it. And to start to accept that no matter what actually does happen, including challenges, I want to find a way to feel wonderful, terrific, and okay. And when I say that, and I've learned to share with myself that affirmations help, it works easier. And it got better and better. And after a few months, I started to really feel it. Even the day maybe I woke up, I was tired, or it just seemed like there was a lot to do, I would say that I feel a lot happier and healthier. My self-esteem would improve. I'd start saying, I'm grateful about this, and I can do a lot, I can achieve, and I can accomplish. And that's a wonderful thing. You can be your own best friend, because I guess at the end of every day or night, you are with other people, but you're also with yourself. So if you can love yourself and be kind and pick yourself back up, because that's one of the greatest lessons. I met thousands of celebrities in my youth, and many achieved great accomplishments, some of the best things ever in the world, and all of them went through such adversity, even with that achievement. So I learned that to build back your self-esteem, it makes it possible to live your life and enjoy. And sadly, that's one of the reasons I work with helping people with depression. People really struggle. And I remember in the therapy office, a lot of people couldn't really pick themselves back up that easily. And I felt like I wanted to help them. And even if they could improve 10% of their self-esteem, they'd do a little bit better. And that's the hard part. Sometimes people with depression day in and day out, they just can't get it. They can't figure out how to be happy most of the time. And I accept that. I respect them. And I understand, different illnesses. It's not always like you're waking up like, hey, I want this. Corona, give me Corona. It's not like that. It's sort of a challenge, and people that get depression sometimes can't, but they can work on it. That's one of the beautiful things with self-esteem is it is something you can really practice and try to improve. And I think for myself, when I say the affirmations, it helps a lot. And obviously I've written books and I've trained people and educate about and coach about different things. So I'm pretty good at improving my self-esteem, but I think anyone can. And maybe you improve at 5%. Someone really depressed every day is dark, is terrible. Maybe 5% is somewhat better, a little. Even if they have depression, it's hard to say, hey, life is great. That 5% may mean a lot. Even in moments where you're really struggling, that 5% can be big. And then maybe others can get 20, 30, 50, 70, 80. And it's not like school. You go into your test and it's you want to get 100 and you get a 5. 5 out of, how are your grades this year? Well, I'm not an A with 90s or and above, or B's with 80s. I'm at 5. Well, you can't have 5. That's not really, the schools will say, well, you're only a little bit 95 points under the top. They'll start saying you need help. But I think you may get help, or you may have already gotten help. It's still hard, but wherever you are, maybe you can do that. You can build back that self-esteem. You can get somewhere on the scale of how your life is and your lens and what you've been through too. Because that's the real thing I learned about depression. Some people have faced so much that they can't easily just pick back up. Maybe they face sickness or trauma or anger, or just really, have severe debilitating depression, which does happen, So I say that to you. Maybe go on the journey for self-esteem. I used to do this in office. I tell people write a list. I want you to work on things that are true about yourself that are a good thing or a positive thing. And the list would get good. I have to help people sometimes with it, but they come up with all kinds of things. I like to take walks, or I enjoy dancing, or I'm really good at my job with trying to work with my boss and customers, or I've had a lot of abilities to get, C's and B's in school, and I'm passing most of my classes. Or at school, I was part of a group, and I did something after school, and I, was in that activity and did pretty decent. Or maybe I like to ride my bike, or I enjoy, drawing or painting, or maybe I am able to do things every week, and I find, gratitude that I'm doing. Maybe I go food shopping. Maybe I get like supplies like soap and water. And different things, hair, stuff, products, makeup, nail polish, whatever it is, I take care of myself. Or maybe that, I've struggled, but I get government assistance, so it helps me having some money that they provide. Or maybe I got student loans and you don't want to get big debt, but maybe it helped you go to college and made it possible. You may wonder, man, is this really going to work out okay if the economy's tough? It's hard. I think that too, how tough life can be. And, it's not always easy. Like, did I make the right choice? I started thinking about that self-esteem wise this week. Many times people say, did I make all my choices and did it lead into where I ended up at this point? I said, maybe you didn't exactly. Maybe you should have had more success. You should have had more financial abundance. Maybe you should have had better relationships. But whatever it is, it wasn't you that failed. And I think that's a great way to look at it. You maybe did put a lot of effort in different things, and you deserve more, and you should have more. And if you say that, hey, it wasn't me, it's not my fault, I tried, even trying to your ability, like someone that could get a 40 on a test, that would be a success. I have read about people that don't have the ability to talk, or don't have the ability to read, or don't be, they can't do things. So sometimes that's a self-esteem thing too. Anything you do achieve, hey, I really do accomplish that. I take that sometimes, some can, for granted, but maybe you went to school this week, or maybe you took a walk, or maybe you were on a bus, or maybe your mom or dad's car, or whatever it is, you had that. Hey, even that, I went after school and I got, some food. Man, I still did that. I ate it and did my best. Or even those things, they can kind of seem goofy, but it depends where you're at, about where you are in your journey, and saying, what, maybe I want to have a good self-esteem. And say this, maybe I laugh, I watch a comedy and it makes me smile, or maybe I just listen to some deep music tonight that really inspired me. It was about people that had been lost in hip-hop, and some of the famous rappers that were friends with these deceased rappers they did songs about them, and the songs were just really inspirational, and it was good because, I cried a little bit, and I'm not really sad that much, but I like to release the emotions, and that was great. I said, hey, let me be a little sad and release those emotions, and then I felt better. I heard the songs that had some sorrow and loss. I even watched about my brother, who died a few years ago, really young, in his 20s, so I watched a video I made honoring him, and I just, kind of healed and cleansed myself. I said, I'm glad I gave my self-esteem a little pickup, and I said, hey, I'm doing the best I can. My kids are back in school. They finished their first week. My wife is working. I'm back working on my startup as the school year began. And I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to look at myself and say, you're trying, bud. Do the best you can. The stock market was down a ton today, but you're still trying. You're not negative or nasty. And you're doing the best you can. And you're really looking at yourself and say, hey, I'm okay. I did that. I thought to myself, you did pretty good today. I'm going to take a shower. And I clean all this anxiety, anger, fear, whatever goes through your mind in a day. Man, the markets are down hundreds of points. And, all types of things we may have worked. But, it came really great on you. So I said, hey, I went through the whole day, did the best I could. I got a lot of work emails done. I accomplished a lot. I researched some new leads and, wrote really nice business contacts to them. So I said, hey, have some self-esteem, be grateful. I went and took a shower, cleansed all the, whatever it is. I said, let me leave it in here. Let me wash my hair and almost feel like all that soap, water, everything that drains, let it drain. Let those feelings and emotions, the energy, sadness, whatever you had felt, let it go away and then start fresh. I cleaned myself off, figure I'm going to come make this learning. And I thank you for listening. I want to share, we do a coaching program. We help support people with depression, bipolar, and even just setting goals and having at-home support. So if you're interested, I'll give our direct number. That's 213-304-9555. That's 213-304-9555. And of course, bipolaronline.com. Happy to have educated people already in 200 countries. And all over the world, I say people, they're facing stuff. There's been all types of things since COVID. So I wish you well. If you'll like and subscribe, and again, that coaching, if you're interested, keep that number because it may be helpful. You have a hard day and you choose to get some support that week. 213-304-9555. That's 213-304-9555. Thank you so much, and like and subscribe.